part 25 of sharing my story on here because it's so much easier than writing another book. And it is May of 2008 and my water breaks. And I'm pregnant with my fourth child, and this one I am doing completely unassisted. I had done my own labs, my own medical records. We had a hospital right around the corner, like literally quarter mile away. And so I felt really comfortable and confident. We had the birthing pool set up. We did like the whole 9 yards. I really was prepared. And yet, oddly enough, I didn't use a lot of the things because I was so in tune with my body that it was just like me and this child. And I didn't know whether it was a girl or a boy. I didn't have any ultrasounds with this one. I just was completely in tune with who I was and what my body was feeling. And so she was my only surprise baby of not knowing the gender. And it was such a sweet time. And that labor was so similar to my second one, the first one that I had at home. It took about 3 days, started with my water breaking, and was just really gentle and easy with, intense contractions. But we were just so in tune with each other that it was really smooth. I had one moment of panic in transition where, like, when I reached down, I thought she was coming out butt first, and she was not. It was her head. It was just very squishy. But I had this moment of panic, and it was like literally 15 seconds, and Reed was there with me, and he had been there and assisted with the other two. So we were just really capable in doing this. And she came out and everything was flawless and it was so easy. And I had hemorrhaged with my other two births because they had done cord traction. And that was part of why I really wanted to do unassisted, was because they weren't really hearing me. And I was like, it will come out. Just let me nurse the baby and the placenta will detach and everything will be fine. But don't push me. And with her, it was just so easy. Like she came out, everything was great. She was crying, healthy. We didn't cut the cord. I just nursed her. About 45 minutes later, my placenta came out and I didn't have any hemorrhaging. It was kind of strange because we didn't know anyone. So it was like she was born right as the kids were waking up for breakfast, which is probably kind of traumatizing in itself. And they're great birth control for your children. Have them watch you give birth. And like, they weren't obligated to be there. They would just come in and out, and it was easy. We had a whole birthday party planned because every time I gave birth, the baby would have a birthday party, and it's the baby's birthday party, but all the kids get presents. So it was fun because they always had presents they could open, which would give us time to sleep and rest. And we'd turn the TV on, and it was really just like a multiple day long party. And it was lots of fun. So she's great. Everything's cool. And the next day I go to examine my placenta and the umbilical cord because that's what you do. And I'm kind of sciencey and nerdy like that. And it was in the fridge because that's where you put your organs when you're not in your body anymore. And I'm looking at it, and there is a true knot. Like when you tie your shoes and you go one over the other and pull it tight. She had a true knot in her cord, and it was pulled so freaking tight. Now, I had learned afterwards that so few babies with a true knot that's really tight even survive. If I had had an ultrasound, I would have been stressed out like crazy, and because they would have seen it, and then I would have just been on bed rest and stressed. And for some reason with that pregnancy, I just knew I wasn't supposed to. And because of that, we were at ease. She is fine. Everything is fine. But it was like this shocking moment of, had I gone against my body and what my body was telling me, I would have had so much more stress. She might not have made it. And yet, because I did listen to my body, everything was good. And I'm just standing there looking at this true knot going, wow, wow, we made it and everything's fine. And I did all the weird home birthing things, like I made smoothies out of it and stuff like that. And I really do think it helped because I really didn't have a lot of postpartum depression or issues other than Reed had like a raging corn addiction. And I did not really understand the depth of it until the week I gave birth, which, made me so mad because he was starting to make mistakes at work. Like he pulled a bathtub out that he was supposed to not pull the bathtub out. You know, he's doing these home remodels and stuff. And he's making mistakes at work, and I confront him and I'm like, what's going on? Turns out he's been staying up all night looking at corn. And so he's going to work on like 2 hours of sleep, making mistakes. And I'm like, I have 4 kids. What the frick are you doing? Like, this is not okay. So when she was a week old, I packed up. I waited for my oldest daughter to come home. She was in a private school. And my oldest daughter to come home, I think she was in like first grade, maybe second, no, first. She was in first grade and she comes home from school. I already have the car packed. I'm like, honey, get in the car. We are going on a road trip. And we went back to Idaho for a week and I just got a hotel room and I was like, I can't do this. Like the moment she got home, we were gone. He came home to an empty house. Not empty, but like no people in the house. We had packed up all the stuff we needed and I was gone. I was already like on my way to Idaho by the time he got home, if not already there. And I just don't want to talk to him for a few days. Finally, we start talking and he commits to getting help. And like we make a plan and I just was so frustrated, so angry with him because I could not figure out why he would do something so stupid when there's so much at stake. And so we decide to get more involved with church and get involved in some of these groups for healing and corn addiction and that kind of stuff. And so I come back after a week with the kids, and of course he's so sorry and so apologetic. And we are going to Good Shepherd Church in Boring, Oregon. And it's like one of those mega churches, you know, the classic non-denominational type churches. And they have, Celebrate Recovery. They have a Celebrate Recovery program and we both start going. He's going for corn addiction and I'm going for the spouse of and support. And I'm always doing inner work, always doing healing work, always learning and growing and wanting to do better with every step of the way because I'm wanting to break generational cycles. That is really the context of our relationship. Before we ever got married, we had made the deal that we were breaking generational cycles. That was the entire point, was we didn't want what our parents gave us. And so healing and evolution and doing better, being better was a huge part of like our marriage. That was the very foundation, was that we wanted better for our kids. And what do you do in that situation? You go to recovery groups, you get help. And by this point, we're not doing any of the pro-life activism. Like we had left all of that in Boise, Idaho, because I was like, we are done. We're not a part of the system. We're not doing any of that. But recovery is really important, and getting help for ourselves and breaking the cycles are really, really important. But he just hates his job. And I could not see this at the time, but it was just like constant complaining about having to work and about having to do things. And it took me so long to put the pieces together that it didn't matter what he did. He just hated doing everything. Like anything that had to do with responsibility, he just complained about it. But it was so passive. Took me years to put the pieces together because he didn't like the housekeeping. He didn't like working for our own business. He didn't like working for other people. Dude just didn't like working. He did not like being responsible for his family. My only hope is that these recovery programs are going to be able to help us, and we're going to be able to see some kind of light at the end of this where he's just more responsible and actually cares about his family.